BBC Radio Guernsey or anytime on the BBC Sounds app.
Now, if you've been in town in Jersey this week, you may have noticed a man dressed as a brain running up and down the high street with a bucket in hand. This is all in aid of the local charity Headway Jersey, which supports those with brain injuries and their families. The fundraising manager and the man inside the suit is Bryce Alford, and he joins me now. Lovely to have you with me. Are you in the brain outfit at the moment?
No. Fortunately, 3 hours was enough today. It's been 3 hours each day, Monday through to Friday. Quite a relief, as you can imagine, to get out of it as well.
Well, I can imagine. I've seen pictures of it, and it's kind of massive. I was wondering how you managed to go to the loo if you need to sit down.
Good planning. Go before and go after.
Oh, look! I mean, it's a lovely idea, and it's very funny, but also very, very poignant. Why are you doing it?
Yeah. So thanks for that. I do like, obviously, to want to bring attention, and clearly it does that. It's so big that you can't help but avoid it if it's coming towards you on the street. So many, as the fundraising manager at Headway, I was looking for ways that I could do something to get to really tell a story at the same time. And there've been so many of the members that have got involved here at Headway with getting behind the brain. Robert Jeffroy, for example, has the logo, which is has copied the logo and actually done his own artwork to get it there on the brain. Really the inspiration partly behind it as well was that my brother passed away with a brain tumor a few years ago, and I wanted to run the marathon in his memory. And naturally, being the fundraiser at Headway, I also wanted to come up with I thought, well, how can I run a marathon and get some attention? And so I looked on the Guinness World Records website and found that they had a fastest marathon dressed as a body part record to be attempted. And naturally, the brain made the most sense to run it in and to be able to get that, raise that awareness for Headway.
Which is wonderful. Just while I have you with me, what is it like for somebody living with a brain injury?
Oh, it's a great question, and it ties in very much to, in some ways, for what it feels like to wear the brain costume. So the brain is our computer. It governs everything about what we do, how we feel, and how we think. And so within that costume that weighs 7 kilograms, which is a stone, it feels extremely hot. So for some people who've had a brain injury, their brain has switched the function. So in the winter, they feel extremely hot, and in the summer, they feel extremely cold. That might not be, you might not think that that's too much of a concern, but clearly that makes a significant difference to the person who's had a brain injury. Balance, coordination, all of those things are affected for people who've had a brain injury, and certainly my balance and coordination is affected within that costume too. And the weight, like I mentioned, it's heavy, and I've got to carry that around for 3 hours. But that feeling of that pressure is also something that somebody who's had a brain injury, they've also expressed that to me as well. So in some way, running inside that brain costume is how a member at Headway feels, or somebody who's had a brain injury. They feel like they're trapped inside their brains. And of course, many brain injuries cannot be seen.
No.
So how that person feels is they're totally locked inside their own world.
And it's very difficult because then interactions that perhaps might be, one would make assumptions about a human being. If you sort of meet them, bump into them in the street, perhaps, that person is suffering and, they don't look like it, but, they could respond in very different ways than somebody else might expect. Look, you, so far, you haven't done the counting yet, have you, so far?
I know on my Just Giving page, it's up to about £1,100. Just in the counting of the donations into the bucket, and we've got a contactless machine now as well. So
Good.
if people are out and about in town, they haven't got cash on them, but they see me around and they'd like to make a donation, then we do have a contactless machine. So those donations over the last 3 days are now up to around about £540.
Look, I mean, that's absolutely brilliant. And how long are you going to carry on doing this for? And of course, we've got it's the London Marathon. When's that?
So the London Marathon's on Sunday, October the 3rd. So it's just over a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in town tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. So it'd be great to see people. So many people have got me, made a donation, told me a story about a family member or a friend. And it's really, my inspiration are the members here at Headway, my brother who passed away, as I said, with a brain tumour, but also the stories that I hear as well from the public out and about in town.
Of course. Bryce, your Just Giving page, where can we find it?
It's under Bryce, Follow the Brain. JSY.
Follow the brain. Follow the brain. Yeah. Darling, we love it. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're going to get, be able to put your feet up and have yourself a nice cup of tea now and feel just so blooming proud of yourself, because what you're doing is absolutely incredible. That was Bryce Alford there, who